welcome to Unfiltered
I
with
do my
Roxy.
hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling?
Welcome, friend, to Unfiltered with Roxy. I'm Roxana Feenster, aka Roxy, and I'm glad you're joining me today because I want to talk about the fall glow up. I don't know about you, but my algorithm is full of end the year strong. Lose the weight that you need to, start the business that you need to, make sure that you're living your best soft life for the rest of 2025. And all of that is good, but I think we need to be mindful, be still, and be quiet so we can know exactly how we want to finish the year. My last blog about seasons was about the summer, what I liked, what I was transitioning to, and I hope you took time to think about that for yourself as well. So since I was outside, I figured, today is a nice day. It's 69 and the sun is out. I got to walk and everything with my little pup. So I thought this would be a great day for me to record my fall take on a glow up. And it's not about lashes. It's not about losing weight. It's not about getting and manifesting $1 million. It's about what your intention is and really being mindful with that. One of the things that I started out with is a mindful declutter of my home. It's a great time. Transition seasons are a great time for that because then you can think about the clothes that you want to wear. Maybe you want to change your style. So I think that's something that we need to take more time to really be intentional about. Like, make sure that our fall is really the 3 months of working hard towards whatever it is we want to work towards. So over the summer, I had a wake up call. I went to the doctor. I found out that all of my blood work, blood pressure, weight, blood sugar, all the things that were borderline wrong were still wrong. I did not make an impactful change the way I should have. And I realize now that some of that is me not being serious about my health. And also because there is a medicine and a pill for everything. But what you can't fix with that are the lifestyle changes you need to make. And I know this. I was a wellness coach. I was a trainer. I was a group fitness trainer. So I should know these things, right? But I was not living by them. So this fall, I really want to lean into the glow up, but a glow up from within, from my mindfulness, from getting my blood work correct, from getting my blood pressure back regulated, which all is with my stress, dealing with my stress in a proper way. I'll say that. So redefining my ambition. So redefining ambition and my income goals. Even though I know I want to make a certain income, I want to have a certain kind of comfort, I decided that I don't need to say yes to all the projects that I was saying yes to. The beginning of the summer, I said yes to a project that literally stressed me out and taxed me because it was not aligned with what I wanted to do. I no longer need to be in the weeds of events, in the weeds of helping people grow their business. There's certain things, aspects of it that I don't want to do anymore. And if people don't have that set up, maybe I'm not the person for that. And before, I used to think that I could be all the things. And now I just know that's not my purpose. My purpose is to work hard on the goals that I want to work hard on and that I can shine in so that way I can feel good about the things that I'm doing. So some clients I'm not going to be able to take, which is fine. At first, I used to think that was money on the table, but money actually equals the energy that I'm spending to get that money for me right now. I'm 48, which means that I don't have that many years ahead. And I know that sounds morbid, but if I think about hours, days, weeks, months in that way, I really know what I want to spend my time on. And I can't spend my time on a treadmill that is going to have me working 10-hour days on my Fridays on the weekends. Can't do that anymore. So also with that, I realized that I need to build a team that will help me get to that goal quickly, but I can't do that if I'm not organized and I don't have my priorities right. So this season is all about making sure that I have systems in place so that when I do bring somebody on, they know what they're supposed to be doing and can help and pick up the load that I need them to pick up. And I definitely was not ready for that um, transition yet. But I'm getting there. Hopefully, the beginning of the year will have a place where I will be in a place where my systems will be set up. And when I do onboard clients, it's for a specific period that I can support them in the best way possible. One thing I had also realized this summer is just because you're moving fast doesn't mean you're going towards the goal that you want to go to. So you have to be grounded. You have to be intentional every day with what your goals are, especially if you work for yourself, because a lot of times people will have me on their side missions, which means it's extra time for me and I can't work towards my business, which is not going to be okay because by the time I'm 55-ish, my husband and I already have our idea of where we want to be. And it's not me being on this treadmill still. It's me being somewhere beautiful, full of nature, and in a relaxed autopilot where I have a couple of people that are supporting my business and not just me on the treadmill. So this fall, I can't say yes to every opportunity, even if I need the money, because there are a lot of things that I need to work on to get rid of debt, but I need to make sure it's the right fit for me. I can't say yes to everything. And I also remember that when I was younger, I felt like if I wasn't busy, if I wasn't moving at a recluse pace of working, taking care of my kids, taking care of the house, volunteering at church, doing all of these extra things, I felt like I wasn't being productive. And that's stupid. It makes absolutely no sense. But I definitely felt that up until a couple years ago, maybe up until my mom died. I thought that was the way I was supposed to operate. And now I know I cannot operate like that anymore. It's tomfoolery. It's why my blood pressure is high. It's why my insides are imploding. I needed to make a change. So this fall, that's going to be it. And let me know if you've been seeing on your algorithm on YouTube or Instagram about finishing the year strong. I mean, I even got something on chat. One of the prompts on chat was, do you want your end of year like list of things to do? The inner shift, discipline and delight. So this fall, I am really focusing on discipline, really focusing on drinking my water, making sure that I am walking every day, not sometimes if I can, every day. I need to make sure I'm back on my strength training. I also need to make sure that I'm on my payment plans that I set up so that in a couple years from now, I'm not in the same place that I was before. So now in the morning when I wake up, I am definitely not as rigid as I was with the whole 5 a.m. club, making sure that I was doing 30 minutes of meditation. No, not 30 minutes. It had to have been maybe 15 minutes. I got up to 15 minutes um doing my journaling, doing my Bible, doing my yoga. Like that was the whole thing, which I did feel good in that season doing that. I did that for about 3 months. Now it's like, what do I need today? Which I feel like I'm in a better place to do that because now I can do my journaling, which helps with my monkey brain being all over the place. It helps me to process so that I can be centered when I start my day. But I also want to be someone who's more mindful, not just throwing prayers up in the air and hoping that they will land somewhere good. I want to make sure that I'm intentional with what my prayers are and I'm actually connecting, because who wants to talk to someone that's just talking to them and they're not receiving anything? So I think that's something that spirituality has that religion doesn't. Yes, I used to love being religious, not so more much anymore, but that's a part of religion that it's missing, like spirituality of actually, I know the Lord is hearing my prayers. I know that there's good things coming to me. So why am I in this desperate thing of every day throwing the prayers up? I'm not doing that anymore. And I would implore you not to do that either, because God has a bigger plan for us than to just be rigidly throwing up prayers to Him. Sometimes I just sit there. Sometimes I just read my Bible, but it's not that pressure of making sure I'm checking off the list. Because if I'm connected to my body, I will feel whatever it is that I need that day. And I have everything I need to pour into myself. So if I start the day off with that, I'm better off. If I move the way that my body is craving in the morning, I'm better off. Some days I walk. Definitely not with Miss Foxy Cleopatra anymore, because she stresses me out. But some days I walk first thing in the morning, but some days I do my little 10-minute stretches, or some days I do my bike. And what I noticed is I used to really love doing my Peloton bike with Tunde or with Alex, but now it's like sometimes I don't need motivation. I just need to be quietly burning, starting up my calorie burn on my bike, and that's fine. And before I used to be like, no, I need to make sure that I'm doing the classes. So I'm listening to, no, what I need to do in the morning is make sure that I'm moving my body, getting everything flowing. And then I can either do a midday strength training at my gym or do it in the evening, and not being on this rigid thing where it's like, if I don't do it, I just forget it. I might as well not do anything. And I think a lot of times in my life when I tried to make changes, that's one of the things I did, which is so silly. Why was I so rigid with myself, which means I was just hard on myself. So the real glow up isn't about people knowing that I'm doing these things or people seeing that I lost 20 pounds, which that's great that my husband sees, like when I'm really working out and eating well, or like the benefits of some of the things, like maybe my clothes fitting a different way or being able to wear different clothes. It's more about when I go back to this doctor in the spring, I want normal blood sugar. I want a normal blood pressure. I want for my kidneys to have reset. And I actually am declaring and decreeing that. I am speaking that because I know my body's listening, and I implore that you start that as well. The things that you want to do this fall, start declaring that. Start speaking that over yourself. I am healed. When I go back to the doctor, I am going to be in a better place than I was before, because I'm doing the things. I'm doing the little mini steps this fall to get to that bigger Quan. So some of the other things that I was thinking about for this fall, friendship, faith, my friendships, my faith, and my focus. And so with that, I'm also being intentional about building my friendships, making sure that I'm showing up for people in a real way, and not just when we see each other, oh, we need to get together. Oh, I'm going to call you. Like the people that I really want to connect with, I need to make that something that's a priority in my life. If not, I'm going to be 50 and not have anyone anywhere that I can even call a friend. So I'm really going to start. Well, I've started. I'm going to be intentional with where I spend my energy, whom I spend it with, and make sure that even for my nieces and nephews, I'm showing up for them, going to games more, spending time with them, because how can I say I love them and care about them if I don't? So that's something that I really want to start sewing into. Foxy Cleopatra is going ham up there, so she distracted me. So yeah, And I also want to make sure that I'm picking friends that are pulling me up to where they are as well. One of the things I think we're not intentional about is connecting ourselves with people that have something that we are seeming to go to. There's nothing wrong with that. There is something said about iron sharpens iron, is that I'm trying to get to X, Y, and Z. This improved communication with my husband, this relationship that this person has with their kids or their family. Like, how can I get that? How can I get to a place in my business where it's functioning like so and so's business? Those are things like I can choose those people to hang around. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you have to leave some people behind, that's fine too. There's going to be some people who think you can't have 5 or 6 jobs at the same time, or projects or crafts or whatever it is. And it's like, no, I can have 2 podcasts and 3 product lines and 6 or 7 clients if I want. If I'm able to intentionally do that, that's what I'm going to do. And I think before I was not free in my mind to do that. And sometimes to the point where I'm upset with myself because I let myself like get talked out of stuff, or I feel bad that I am able to do a lot of things. And why can't I be happy that my mind goes a million miles a minute? Okay, there is something wrong with that sometimes. Sometimes, because some projects you have to be at a certain speed. But what I will say is that I'm tired of the grind culture of where you have to produce. I'm good with producing at a high capacity if those are things that I'm trying to get done. Like I said, before the time that I want to start sunsetting a lot of things. So I think the grind culture is work for someone else's dream, whereas my internal belief is that I'm going to start working on my podcast more. I'm going to start working on some products that my daughter and I want to have for our joint podcast together, and even revamping what that looks like, because I can do those things if I keep space for them. And those were really intentional. That was the intention of the beginning of the year. I really wanted to work on those things and I didn't do it. And part because I didn't have the support to do it, but part because I let other people's things be more important than what was important to me. I want to be in spaces where I am respecting my peace over productivity, and I can make those choices to do that. Community doesn't just happen. You have to build it. And if you're doing the effort to have people around you that have that same mindset, that next mindset, or that next life that you're trying to attain, you're going to do better. You're going to feel better. You're going to esteem better. One of the things with that is embracing your pace, realizing that it's okay. Everyone's not going to be in the same pace as you are, and that's fine. So as we step deeper into fall, I just want you to know that you have to embrace your pace. Everyone's not at the same speed, and that you're going to be more at peace when you choose peace. When you think of that as your intention in every space that you show up in, whether it's your house, whether it's an event that you're putting on, whether it's your business practices, you're going to have that peace. But you have to embrace the pace that you're going at, and you have to have that as an intention. What's one thing that you can release this fall to help you get towards where you're trying to go? What's one thing that you can recommit to? Your workout routine, a clean out project, a painting project? And where can you create a little bit more space for your peace? Where can you create more time to do your crafts? Where can you create more time to go out with your friends, have drinks with your friends? Like, that's something you need in your life so that you can have more joy. I'm not just chasing a glow. that is superficial. I'm chasing a glow that's from within. And that is hard to curate and quantify, but I think at the end of the year, I will know it. One of the things that I have taken a step back from is checking off slots for things. I wanted to just do a project management certificate just because I wanted to make more money, have more opportunity. But then when I thought about a recent project that I was on, and I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be in the little minuscule details and have people talking to you crazy and being on projects where you're all over the place because the other people are all over the place and you're trying to get them together. And it's just a lot. And there's people that can flow in that. And I did flow in that at a certain time. And I wish I had done it earlier in my career where I could have benefited from a certificate. But now it's just like, I'm over it. I'm not going to be in those spaces in corporate. I'm not going to be in those spaces in nonprofit. I'm done with that part of supporting businesses. So why was I willing to do all of these hours and not even want to do, because even when I do the certificate, there's a portion of that that you still have to do in project management with an organization. Well, I'm not willing to do that anymore. So that's been taken off of my plate. And I think maybe in the winter, I will finish my studies. I only have a little bit more and I'm more finished than I am not finished. So at this point, I am willing to do that, but I'm going to do that at the pace that I want to do it at. I'm not doing it at 3 and 4 classes. I'll do it at 1 class a semester. And if that takes me forever, it's fine because I'm not 20 years old anymore anyway. So I'm out of whatever timeline I was thinking that I had to be in. I did not graduate before my kids, not with the 4-year degree. So it's like, why am I worried about it? Stop it. So some of the things that I wanted to share with you is that I'm reading now, I think will help you, is free on the Libby app, is Clean Mind, Clean Body by Tara Stiles. And it's available all the libraries because they had it on OneDrive, which is the library website for the Libby app that you could download on your phone and listen to it like I am. And she's talking about really curating peace in your life, mindfulness in your life. And that's where the stage that I'm in now. And I found it very helpful. And another thing that I realized, I was listening to a YouTuber and I had liked her content and followed it. And for whatever reason, the algorithm was not showing her stuff. I thought she had stopped creating. Well, she had a recent podcast that's called 5 Mind Clutter Mistakes I Made for Years. It's a great overview of exactly what I'm talking about. Like looking like you're all together on the outside, but on the inside, you're worried about all these things. Like your house can be clean, but then you're like, oh, but I need to do this, this, and this because I need to get ready because this, and this, or there's a closet that's full of junk in it. I need to clean it out. She talks about that very well in that podcast. So I'm going to put those links in the description for you to look at that as well. And so if this podcast touched you, you've resonated with some of the things, please like and share. Send it to people that you think would benefit from it. I also have a subscriber challenge on the road to 1,000. That's right. I've already started to have my monthly giveaways. I have 4 items for people, but no one has responded yet to the Google form. So please respond to the Google form so that I can send out your items. We are working on a glow up that starts from inside, which means that you need to figure out your why. You need to figure out where you want peace in your life and go for that. And not to say that you can't have other superficial things, but those things that you are really intentional about and that you are really purposeful about is what you're going to show up for in a real impactful way. Until next time, remember, your glow up is from within. You don't have to prove your progress to anyone. Just stay focused, stay kind, stay you. Remember, you're doing the best you can. Bye.